Good Sunday, a Shavua Tov to all, and Afreilich and Chanukah. So, as you read the news, you know that Baruch Hashem, there is a vaccine, but there are challenges that humanity is still facing. Number one, we still have to be careful. And number two, there's going to be a question about logistics, distribution. And also there's a little bit about the concern of spoilage. In other words, you're dealing here with a very sensitive substance. How are you going to be sure that when eventually it's injected into the millions of people throughout the world, that they're going to be getting that which would be good for them to immune them against the illness? So I would suggest that we study well Parshas Miketz to know how to do everything that is needed to be sure to get humanity back on track. Why Parshas Miketz? Egypt was going to face a challenge that related to distribution. And it related also to spoilage. In other words, Yosef tells Pharaoh that his dream indicates there's going to be years of blessings. In other words, for 7 years you could gather, you could get what is needed to survive the second series of 7 years. But you have to be sure to preserve all the grain in a way that it retains its freshness and is usable during the 7 years of famine. And Yosef was chosen for this mission, not just because he was wise, because he feared God. In other words, to go ahead and get involved in an operation that gives you a tremendous amount of power and authority. Unfortunately, power could corrupt a person, right? You go ahead and sign a side deal with some company that's going to distribute the goods for you, and you might get some kickbacks. A villa here, right? Perhaps a private plane, or in Egypt, perhaps it was a private horse. Whatever it was, when you give someone a tremendous amount of power, there's always that concern it's going to corrupt the individual. On the other hand, if you have a Yosef, that what he is doing for society was with an understanding that there's a higher being, there's a God. And if you are given a position, you are given it to do it with complete commitment for the sake of heaven, to help others, right? To go ahead and be sure that those that are going to be starving are going to have food. You do it in a way that is completely for the sake of others, not for your own personal gain. So realize that when you have to focus on distribution, when you have to go ahead and give goods out that humanity needs, number one, it should be done by wise people, people that are wise and understand realities and address issues based on facts. Number two, it has to be someone that is doing it for the sake of heaven with complete commitment, with an understanding that if I am lazy during this period of time, or if I go ahead and try to do things that benefit me personally, boy, am I causing some serious damage. Parshas Miketz is the parsha to not just inspire us, the Jewish people, but to inspire humanity, what a leader is, what a ruler is, and what should be done in a situation that you have within your hands the tools to really save the world. So our bracha to those in charge, not just here in Canada, but throughout the world, is that they do it the way Yosef would do it, and that Bezrat Hashem in a couple months we could look back and be grateful to the Almighty for inspiring man, not just for creating the cure, but that the distribution was done in a successful way. It should be a wonderful week and a Freilich and Chanukah. Bye-bye.